and in this session we are going to understand what are the different topics we have to read in the module B. In the yesterday class we actually covered what are the different topics we have to understand, we have to read from the module A. Okay, so these are the sessions that are very important to understand, because by the sessions you actually know, or say you can actually understand what are the different topics you have to read for your upcoming examination of the JIP. So this is a very important session, and whenever you just find anything very important, just pen down. Okay, so let's start today's session with a motivational quote. Change begins at the end of your comfort zone. Like, you are just watching my video at the 6:30 a.m, so this is also just at the end of your comfort zone, by the way. Okay, so let's start our today's session. Before to start, I would like to say there is a very big announcement from our side. That is, our target batch is actually started, and in this target batch, you will just going to understand everything from basic to advanced. And the most important thing of this batch is like, you just do not need to worry what to read. You just do not need to worry from where you have to start your study. So these kind of the sessions, these kind of the lectures are very important in terms of the examination. And you have to focus on not for getting the 50 marks, because for getting the 50 marks sometimes you just miss by the 1-2 marks, and that is really harsh for if you just prepared very well for the examination. So always prepare for the best, like you have to just score like 60-70 plus in the examination. So that's why these target batches are very important. And in this target batch, I will be your AB faculty, and I will just explain you everything from basic to advanced. Like, first we are just going to discuss like basic concepts of every topic. After that we are going to understand some kind of the questions, and just you will get everything that based on the previous year based questions. So that is a very benefit, or say that would be the very beneficial for you. And this is also at very big discount. Like, you will get a big discount by using the code that is Y422, and with this code you are just going to get a maximum discount on this batch. Okay, so now let's start the session, and do not miss this golden chance. Like, you are just going to grab the 77% off, so with the code that is Y422. Okay, so let's start. So this is your module B, and so module B is a very important module from your exam point of view. And I would like to suggest you, like, if you are just going to start your preparation, so just start from this module, because this module B is actually considered as a basics of your accounting. Okay, where you are just going to understand very first time like debit and credit entries, and that debit and credit entries, that concept of the debit and credit entries, and like you are just going to first time interaction with the debit and credit. So that is a these are the this is a module where you are just going to understand all the basics of the accounting, and this would be the base for your module C as well, because in the module B you are just going to understand how we make the debit and credit transactions. Okay, and why it is necessary for making the debit and credit entries. So this module is a very important module in the exam point of view. Okay, so now another thing that you have to understand, like from this module B you are just going to just get like 15 marks questions in the examination. This is a very important module. So minimum 15 marks, and maximum it may be just 30. Okay, so you will get 15 to 30 marks questions in the examination. That would be some of the half marks, some of the 1 mark, some of the 2 marks. So that actually vary between the 15 to 30 marks. So the important thing that you will find a multiple questions of the bank reconciliation statement. Like, you will just going to get of the 2 marks questions, that is a certain. Okay, so you are going to get the questions of the bank reconciliation statement like 1, 2, 3. Okay, and as well as the most of the questions that you will get like trial balance, bill of exchange. Okay, and in the trial balance that you are just going to solve like how to make the trial balance, how we rectify the trial balance. okay, how we correct this, okay. So that all we understand in the trial balance. So this module B is a very important module in terms of the examination, okay. Now the important thing that, in this module, the first chapter that you are just going to interact with, that is definition, is scope and accounting standards, okay. And if you have a Macmillan book, so you just very pretty much confused, like how you can just read all the accounting standards, how you can learn every accounting standards, okay. So just do not worry if you are just watching my sessions, and I just explain how you can learn accounting standards in a very is in a in a very easy way. Like I have a story, and based on that you can easily learn the accounting standards. So this is a chapter where you have to just nothing worry, okay. No need to worry about the chapter, because in the Macmillan book there are many pages for the this certain chapter, and you just worry about how you can complete your syllabus, like definition, scope and accounting standard of this chapter. So you just do not need to worry, and this chapter is just a cake. This chapter would be the just cake walk for you. So just do not need to worry. After that, another chapter, if I say, that is basic accountancy procedures. So in which there you will just going to understand, like concepts relating, that is the accounting concepts. So that also very important. Like you are just going to get the different type of the questions, and most of the case study type questions you will get from this code, from this particular chapter, okay. Because in this chapter you are just going to get the questions related to cost concept, going concern concept, base your business entity concept. So there are so many questions that frame in the theoretical form from this chapter. So this chapter is a very important, okay. So that's why I'm just focusing on this module first, because this module is actually your base for this subject. Okay, after that, another chapter, that is maintenance of the cash, subsidiary books, and ledger. So, in this chapter, you are just going to understand what are the different type of the books that maintained by the business, that maintained by the banks, and how we make the journal entries, how we make the ledgers. Okay, that all of the things that you are just going to understand in this particular chapter. After that, if we discuss that, bank reconciliation statement is a very pretty much if I say, that is pretty much important chapter from the module B, and you get multiple questions based on the bank reconciliation statement. And I also have a trick, like if you just watch my sessions related to this, then you can easily understand how you can just very simply you can calculate like difference between the cash book and passbook balance, or say if you have to calculate the cash book balance, if you have to calculate the passbook balance. So from this chapter you will get half marks questions, 1 marks question, as well as a 2 marks question. So this chapter is very important in terms of the examination. And after that, the trial balance, this chapter is also very important, because in the trial balance, like if you just make the debit and credit entry, and if suppose that any error occurred, okay. So for just identifying the error, and after that rectifying the error, all the things that you are just going to solve in this particular chapter, that is trial balance. So that chapter is also very important. Another chapter, that is related to capital and revenue expenditure, that is okay chapter. Like you will just going to get or say 2 3 questions based on that, and that is not so much scoring chapter, okay. After that, bill of exchange, and this chapter, from this chapter you are just going to get in the examination, like 1 marks questions, as well as a 2 marks questions, as well as a point 0.5 marks questions. Because in the 2 marks question you will just going to get like the questions, how you make the debit and credit entry, like how the door just maintain the transaction of in his book of account. So that is the bill of exchange, and you will get these kind of the questions in the 2 marks from the bill of exchange. So this is a scenario of the module B, and I hope it is pretty much understandable for everyone. Like this module is very important. I'm again just assuring you that you have to just start, if you're just starting the fresh preparation, so just start from the module B, because this module is a very important, and this is a base for your accounting subject. Okay, now we are just going to understand the topic that important, or say that topic that you have to understand in each and every chapter. Okay, so let's start with the definition, scope and accounting standard. So just you have to understand that in from this chapter you are just going to get the questions like match the followings. Okay, we actually see in the examination like whatever the pattern that followed by previous examination, that is you are just going to get the questions like match the followings, and where you have to where the certain like accounting standards are given. Suppose that accounting standard 1 given, accounting standard 2 given, accounting standard 3 given, and what are the different purposes for that, and that would be the mention here, and you have to match the following. Okay, so that is the that type of the questions you get from the accounting standard, and that is of the actually 2 marks questions. Okay, but now the exam is actually updated, so sometimes you also get these kind of the questions in the 1 mark. Okay, so that is a very important to understand. So in this accounting standard, like by the nature and purposes of accounting. So the one thing I would like to say, just understand, accounting is nothing, but it is a language of the business. So whenever you have just see like whenever you have seen the term that is accounting, so you have to understand it is actually a language of business. Okay, it is nothing else. It is a language of the business. So what is the purposes of the accounting? It is to communicate or report the result of the business operation and the financial health of any organization, any business, any banking industry. Okay, so that is accounting, right? So this is actually about the accounting. So accounting is nothing but it is a language of the business. Okay, in this language, the the things are interchanged, the things are exchanged by the businesses. So accounting standards, why the accounting standards are framed, and what are the different scopes of this, so that is all about you just going to read in the chapter. And after that, this is also very important, like you will get questions in the examination in the half marks. So like what is the full form of the USGAP? Okay, so that is all about the accounting standards. So you just do not need to worry how you can memorize these. Like you have to just memorize the 27 accounting standards related to your syllabus. Okay, so you just do not need to worry. I have a full story and I will explain one by one. Okay, so this is a very important chapter, like you will get questions like in the 2 marks. Now another chapter, that is basic accountancy procedure. Okay, and in this chapter you are actually going to understand like questions you will get, accounting concepts. And everything have a concepts, right? It's like business concepts, same in the same way that is accounting concepts. And accounting concepts actually classified in the 2 categories. The first category, that is related to your recording stage, and after that, that is reporting stage. Okay, and what are the differences between the recording and reporting? Recording, when the first time any transaction that entered in the book of the business account. Okay, and reporting stage, that is actually understand as a final presentation for the entries. Okay, so that is recording and reporting. So in the recording stage, that you have to understand what are the different concepts that comes under the recording stage, like business entity concept. And these all concepts are very important because you will get the questions related to case study type. So that chapter is very important. And like business entity concept, money measurement concept. Okay, cost concept, that is also important. Okay, dual aspect concept, that is also important. So these are the some main concept that comes under the recording stage. After that, if we're talking about the reporting stage, so in the recording stage, that you have to read like going concern concept, that is also very important. Concept are very important to understand, because you will get multiple questions based on this concept, or say accounting concepts. Okay, so going concern concept that you are going to read, after that the matching concept you are just going to read, and conservatism concept you are just going to read in this. And these are the some main concepts, accounting concepts, that you have to understand in this particular chapter in the basic accountancy procedure. After that, you have to understand what is a double entry system and how we make the entries based on the double entry system. Like, every debit has its credit entry itself. Okay, so you are just going to understand what is double entry system, how the debit and credit transactions are maintained. Okay, after that, revenue recognition and realizations, that is just some theoretical part that you have to just read through. Okay, so these are the topics that you have to understand in this chapter, and this chapter is the most important. Okay, another chapter, that is maintenance of the cash or subsidiary books and ledger. And this chapter is also very important of the module B. And in this chapter, you are just going to understand what is general, how we make the journals, cash book, like what is cash book and what its types, like what are the different types of the cash book, record keeping basics, that is actually written here, that is record keeping basics. Like, you have to understand what is recording, summarizing. Okay, so that all comes under the record keeping basics. After that, accounting categories, that is most important topic of the chapter. And in this accounting categories, that you have to understand what is real account, what is personal account, what is nominal account, and you also have to just understand what is the golden rule of the accounting says. And this is a very important topic. Like, this topic is very useful in most of the chapters of this subject. Okay, so this accounting categories topic are very important. After that, debit and credit concept, like, it is also very important. And generalizing, and these all are the topics are very important, like in the record keeping basics, that you have to understand recording, classifying, summarizing, what are the different things of that. And accounting categories, like, you have to understand what are the golden rule of accounting says for every account, like personal account, real account, nominal account. So that all are the important. Now the next chapter, that is bank reconciliation statement, and you will find multiple questions in the examination based on that. The simplest thing that you have to understand, what is the difference between the cash book and the passbook. And sometimes you also get in the exam like bank statement. Okay, so this passbook is also understand as a passbook or say bank statement, and this is the cash book. So any mismatch happen between the cash book and passbook, and we have to just reconcile. And you will get the questions in the examination like, what if the cash book balance is given, so just tell, or say just calculate the passbook balance. Okay, so that type of the questions you get in the examination. So in this chapter, you are going to understand need for the bank reconciliation statement, what are the different causes of the differences, and preparation of the bank reconciliation statement, like how we prepare the bank reconciliation statement. Okay, so this chapter is also just cakewalk for you if you understand one time, like if you're just going to understand a one time concept, like how you just calculate the passbook balance or say cash book balance if the certain datas are given. Okay, so this chapter is a very important, and you will find a very easy if you just understand one time. Okay, like if you just understand with its concept. Okay, now the next chapter, that is trial balance, and in the trial balance, like you are just going to understand how we make the trial balance, what is the trial balance, what is the purposes of the trial balance, what are the different types of the trial balance, suspense account, what it means by the suspense account, and how we maintain the rectification entry in the suspense account, and classification of the errors, rectification of the errors. And you just have to understand, like you will find multiple questions from this chapter. Okay, because this chapter is very important, and sometimes I also saw that is that students just find that 8 to 10 marks questions from this single chapter. So you can understand how important this chapter is. Okay, so you have to understand like what is trial balance, classification, rectification of the errors, and you will find multiple questions based on that. So this chapter is also very important. After that, another chapter, that is some kind of the theoretical chapter, like you will find not very much questions, like you will find 2 to 3 questions hardly from this chapter, but you will find a question definitely. Okay, so you have to also understand what is expenditure, what is deferred revenue expenditure, distinction between the capital and revenue expenditure, what we understand by the receipts. So that are the some very small topics that you have to understand in this chapter, and this is quite simple. Like you are just going to get 2 to 3 marks questions in this exam, in this from the chapter in the examination. Okay, now the next chapter, that is bill of exchange, and that is the last chapter of your account of your module B of the AFB subject. Okay, so in the bill of exchange, the thing that you just have to understand, you will find a multiple questions that are of the point 5, 1 and 2 marks, because in the point 5 and 1 marks, like you will just going to get the questions related to theoretical, but in the 2 marks question, you have to just make the debit and credit transactions. Like we know that in the bill of exchange, like three parties available in the bill of exchange, like door, doi, and pay. So, in the 2 marks, if I say what type of the questions you will get, like if the door just make the bill of exchange, so how he will make the transactions, how he will make the debit and credit transaction in his book of account. So that kind of the questions that actually ask in the examination. So for that, you just have to understand the debit and credit concepts, like how you make the debit and credit concepts in the accounting. And for making this debit and credit concepts, I have a wonderful trick to just memorize you how you can just make the debit and credit transactions very easily. Okay, the one thing that you have to understand, you have to memorize the golden rules of accounting. That's it. Okay, so that is also very important thing. And this accounting subject is very interesting if you are just going to understand with a basic concept. Okay, and after understanding this, you are just able to just get the score like 60 plus, 70 plus in the examination. Okay, so just do not need to worry, just follow the basic concepts. I am here, and all of the faculties are here for just your help. Okay, so that's all for this session. And once again, I would like to say, our target batch is just started, and I'm just going to show how you can enroll in our batches. Okay, so just let's see here. So the first thing that you have to just visit the adda247.com JIB exam kit. Okay, where you will find multiple batches that actually running and that actually scheduled for your examination. And you will find multiple batches of the bilingual batches as well as the English medium batches. Okay, so you can also purchase, you can also enroll in the individual subject, like if you just enroll in the PPB, in the AFB, in the LRB, so you can also enroll in the you just have to just visit the view all, and after that you can just able to enroll in any individual batches. Okay, so if you just want to enroll in the target batch, suppose that. Okay, so in the target batch, if you just enroll, like you will get a mock test, ebooks, as well as a live classes. Okay, and you know how you can enroll in this, like you have to just click the buy now section, and in the buy now section you have to apply the code, that is Y422, and you will get a big discount from this code. Okay, and now just think that flat 77% off you will get by applying the code, that is Y422. Okay, so this is how you can enroll in our target batches, as well as you can just apply this code in any jab and cap product, and you will get the big discount on that. Okay, so now I am winding up this session. I hope this session is useful for you, and we will meet on the tomorrow at the same time. Okay, and just we will meet on the tomorrow. So Thanks for watching me here. And if you have not downloaded the Adda 247 application, just download and subscribe the Officers Adda 247 YouTube channel so that you can get notifications of the live sessions as well as the notifications of the important news that is related to your examination. Okay, so if you're liking our effort, liking our content, do not forget to hit the like button on this video and share this video to your friends so that maximum number of our colleagues can join with us. So thanks for watching me here. Thanks for joining me here. Now we will meet on the tomorrow.